My career, a career based so much on physical appearance, seemed to be over before it had even started. I felt as if a doorway to paradise had been opened and then slammed in my face, and it hurt.
This is what Priyanka Chopra has posted on her Instagram. It's an excerpt from her recently released memoir जिसका नाम है Unfinished. And after this, Priyanka has gone ahead and revealed the dark side of Bollywood that probably a lot of people know but very few people talk about. This is 20 years back when Priyanka Chopra had just entered the industry. But even then, Priyanka Chopra was always a big name because she was already a Miss World. The title that had given her the power and recognition that she holds even today. लेकिन उस वक्त पर प्रियंका चोपड़ा को बॉलीवुड में एंट्री लेने के लिए क्या कुछ नहीं करना पड़ा. And one of the things that she faced, according to her, was body shaming and blatant objectification. Before I tell you that Priyanka Chopra ने क्या लिखा है अपनी इस memoir के अंदर, let me also tell you that when I was working with a leading entertainment channel in Mumbai, at that time we had accessed pictures of Priyanka Chopra जहाँ से उन्होंने अपने फेस पर बहुत सारे चेंजेस करवाए थे, कॉस्मेटिक सर्जरीज कराई थी. ये क्लिनिक अंधेरी में है और वहाँ से एक डॉक्टर ने हमारे मीडिया चैनल को प्रियंका चोपड़ा के बिफोर एंड आफ्टर पिक्स दिखाए थे. इनफैक्ट इट वाज मोर अबाउट द बिफोर पिक्स बिकॉज इन दिस एक्सक्लूसिव स्टोरी दिस पर्टिकुलर डॉक्टर हैड रिवील टू द रिपोर्टर कि प्रियंका चोपड़ा अपनी सर्जरी से पहले कैसी दिखती थी. सो नाउ यू पुट दिस particular story in perspective jahan Priyanka Chopra is talking about body shaming and how she was told to fix the proportions of her body before she gets some work in Bollywood, to the fact that Priyanka Chopra actually had to go ahead and do a lot of cosmetic surgery on her face and get this fixed before she could become a big name in the industry. In her book, Priyanka Chopra has made some shocking revelations about 20 years back and said even back then how newcomers were treated. And as you know, Priyanka Chopra is not related to the industry. She is not a nepotism product. She's made her mark on her own. Whatever she is today is because of what she achieved and she sacrificed in life. Priyanka कहती है कि उनके शुरुआती दिनों में someone told her that she needs to get a boob job and she needs to get her proportions fixed. Only then she'll get work in Bollywood. And her then manager, जिसका नाम है प्रकाश जाजू, उनका नाम यहाँ दिया नहीं गया है जिन स्टोरीज में इसकी बात की गई है, लेकिन आई एम प्रिटी श्योर एट दैट टाइम शी वॉज मैनेज्ड बाय प्रकाश जाजू. एंड प्रियंका, इफ यू रिमेंबर, हैड अ ह्यूज राव विद प्रकाश जाजू अ फ्यू इयर्स आफ्टर शी वॉज लॉन्च्ड एंड देयर वाज अ पुलिस केस एज वेल. और इन दोनों के बीच की प्रॉब्लम बहुत ज्यादा मर्की हो गई थी और ये सारी चीजें तब हुई थी जब Priyanka Chopra had already become an established name. लेकिन what Priyanka is talking about right now is about when she had entered the industry and her manager had agreed to this person telling her that you need to get a boob job and you need to get your proportions fixed of your body. So she says, after a few minutes of small talk, this director producer, मतलब एक filmmaker, बड़ा filmmaker उस time का, told me to stand up and twirl for him. I did. He stared at me long and hard, assessing me, and then suggested that I get a boob job, fix my jaw and add a little more cushioning to my butt. This Priyanka Chopra has written in her book. She has further revealed, if I wanted to be an actress, that person said, I need to have my proportions fixed and he knew a great doctor in LA, Los Angeles, he could send me to. My then manager voiced his agreement with the assessment. उस प्रोड्यूसर ने प्रियंका को बोला कि मैं एक एलए में एक अच्छा डॉक्टर भी जानता हूँ, यू कैन गेट योर एंटायर बॉडी फिक्स थ्रू कॉस्मेटिक सर्जरी. उसके बाद वो लिखती है, आई लेफ्ट द डायरेक्टर प्रोड्यूसर्स ऑफिस फीलिंग स्टन्ड एंड स्मॉल. Was he right that I couldn't be successful unless I had so many body parts fixed? I thought of how individuals in the media and others in the industry had referred to me as dusky and different looking, and I wondered if I was cut out for this business after all. This is what Priyanka Chopra is saying, who is one of the leading actresses not just in Bollywood but now even in Hollywood. Internationally, everybody knows Priyanka Chopra. Her PR is so strong. She has become such a powerful name from India and in Hollywood as well. She's made a mark. No other actress has been able to do that. A very senior journalist had once told me that Priyanka Chopra is a very, very smart girl. She is somebody who knows exactly what she wants and she'll go after that, because the one thing that most of the other actresses do not have in Bollywood and Priyanka has is focus. She is so focused that whenever she's done anything, she knows exactly the outcome of that and she knows where she's going. And I totally agree with her. बिकॉज इस जर्नलिस्ट ने मुझे जो कहा उसके बाद मैंने हमेशा प्रियंका की लाइफ को देखा एंड आई हैव ऑलवेज सीन दैट प्रियंका चोपड़ा एज एन एक्ट्रेस has always been very meticulous in her choices. When she was in Bollywood, she would pick up the right kind of movies, make the right kind of noise. She would be associated with the right kind of heroes and right kind of directors, and her PR here was also very strong. And the way she has gone to Hollywood and made her mark over there, it only tells you that she's so focused and sharp and she knows what to say when and what to do when. और ये बात जो है उनके बहुत काम आती है. Which is why despite not having so many hits back in Bollywood, she is such a big actress in Hollywood because she knows the right strategies. बहरहाल इस इंटरव्यू में प्रियंका चोपड़ा आगे लिखती हैं, it's so normalized that it doesn't come up in conversation. This entire talk about body shaming, about fixing your body parts, all of that is so common in Bollywood according to Priyanka, it doesn't come up in conversation. I talked about a movie that I walked out of because how I was spoken to by the director. She's saying that she walked out of a movie purely because she didn't like the way the director spoke to her. But she did not have the guts to tell him that. She just meekly just walked out of the movie. इस पूरे मामले में वो आगे लिखती है, It was early in my career, but I never told him why I walked out. I never had the courage to stand up for myself and actually admit it because I heard so often, don't be a nuisance. You are new in the industry. You don't want to have a reputation that you cause trouble or you're not easy to work with. Now on the other side of 35, I know that's a normalized thing. I fell for it too. Even though I consider myself a forward-thinking smart girl, I learned from that over time. But at that time, I was terrified. Yes, I faced that then. I faced that like everybody else when you are in the patriarchal industries, which ours has been for a very long time. This is what Priyanka Chopra has to say, that despite being such a forward-thinking, smart, independent girl, she had to face so much and she couldn't muster the courage to stand up to that director and sacrifice on her work to maintain her dignity. तो वो कहती है कि obviously if I face through, then I can imagine so many others are facing it on a daily basis, and especially in our industry, which Priyanka says is very patriarchal. Patriarchal माने it is only being run by the men, and women and their roles are pretty marginalized. लेकिन फिलहाल ऑफ कोर्स काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें, काफ़ी सारा बदलाव आ रहा है. Women are getting better roles, better pay. Me Too movement had started and पिछले कुछ सालों में कुछ चेंजेस आए हैं, बट ऑब्वियसली दिल्ली बहुत दूर है. देयर इज स्टिल अ लॉट दैट नीड्स टू बी डन, बट फॉर नाउ व्हाट प्रियंका चोपड़ा हैज सेड echoes so many sentiments from so many quarters of the industry. ये स्टोरी पढ़ते हुए और आपको बताते हुए मुझे एक और चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा बार बार याद आई, एंड दैट इज़ अ लाइन सेड बाय राबिया खान, जिया खान की मदर, इन द BBC UK की जो डॉक्यूमेंट्री अभी कुछ ही दिनों पहले रिलीज हुई है. उसमें राबिया खान कहती हैं दैट बॉलीवुड इट्स नॉट एन ईजी प्लेस, not everyone can survive it. This is what she says. And when big stars like Priyanka Chopra are coming ahead and saying these things, and what we've seen in the past in movies like Page 3 and from journalists who have worked there, from so many accounts in the Sushant Singh Rajput case, the biggest example in this, so in sabke baad that argument just becomes stronger. So what are your thoughts on this latest development? Let me know in the comment section. If you like my video, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching as well.